to Cleveland, everyone. Yeah. The city that rocks, and in my case, rolls, right? I'm Mary Verdi Fletcher. I'm the president, founding artistic director of the Dancing Wheels Company and School. That song put Cleveland on the map in the 1990s as the opening scene for the TV sitcom, The Drew Carey Show, which featured Cleveland ballet dancers. And I actually think we have a few of them in the audience tonight. Are you here? Let's hear from you. Yes. Yeah. We are proud of our city and so very proud to be hosting this year's Dance USA conference. It was a year of planning and hard work that truly exemplified what could be accomplished with great teamwork. It took us on a journey as each steering committee member took a significant responsibility and rose up to accomplish what initially seemed to be an insurmountable undertaking. After a long and extensive search of the city, we unanimously voted to hold this significant event here at the History Center of the Western Reserve Historical Society. A truly unique venue managed by Angie Lowry, who is a warm and invested individual. So let's please give Angie a great round of support. I would also like to personally thank my dedicated subcommittee who assisted me throughout the process of putting this event together. We felt that not only was this a unique venue, but it also tells the rich history of our fair city and the surrounding regions and demonstrates just how far we have come as a community who embraces equality, inclusivity, and acceptance of all people. Some of these historic pieces are very near and dear to our hearts. For example, the Grand Carousel is here in the museum, and that you'll be welcoming, we welcome you to ride that afterwards. It was built in 1910, and it came from one of our very first amusement parks called Euclid Beach, which was likened to Coney Island. When I was growing up, I lived right down the street from the park, so I have fond memories of riding the wooden horses and waving to politicians like John F. Kennedy and LBJ as they were riding down the street in their motorcades and as they traveled to the park to give their campaign speeches. You will also discover in the lower level of this facility, after the awards, all sorts of memorabilia, as well as some of our very interesting pop-up performances by some of our talented and inventive Cleveland dancers. So I want to thank you again for joining us for what is going to be a spectacular conference. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm David Shimo Takahara, the Executive Artistic Director of Groundworks Dance Theater. And as a member of the host steering committee, I also want to welcome you to Cleveland and the conference. We're delighted and honored to host Dance USA, our friends and colleagues from across the nation and beyond. I hope you are already having a great time in the land, as we like to say. And I think you're going to have a memorable experience in Cleveland and at the conference. As you know, organizing and planning the national conference has many, many different layers. And I'm so grateful for the amazing, generous collaboration with my colleagues on the steering committee, Beth Rutowski, Pam Young, Jane D'Angelo, Mary Verdi Fletcher, and Arlene Watson. We had such amazing support also from so many key individuals who really got behind this effort and offered their help and their support as part of our host committee. And although I can't mention each of them, they are listed in your programs. And I would like to acknowledge the members of our honorary host committee, who represents several of the major funders and sponsors who have helped to make the conference possible. They are Richard Clark, Executive Vice President of the John P. Murphy Foundation, Donna Collins, Executive Director of the Ohio Arts Council, Jennifer Coleman, Senior Program Officer for the Arts of the George Gunn Foundation, Shan Fowler, Trustee of the Fowler Family Foundation, Angie Lowry, Director of Cleveland History Center, Cecilia Render, Executive Director of the Nordson Corporation Foundation, Ron Richard, President, CEO of the Cleveland Foundation, Gina Vernacci, President and COO of the Playhouse Square, and Dr. Yamping Zhu, Provost of Cleveland State University. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Beth Rutkowski, General Manager with Groundworks Dance Theater here in Cleveland. Over the next few days, the conference activities will bring you to some landmark venues in Cleveland. So we're really grateful to our many venue partners and the wonderful staff that have helped us. These include, here at the History Center, which we are all enjoying tonight, Playhouse Square and Elizabeth Eberts, the Cleveland Metropolitan Conference Center of the Cleveland Bar Association, Cleveland Public Library and Marina Marquez, Cleveland State University and Lynn Deering, Hilton Downtown Cleveland, and the Idea Center at Playhouse Square. And on behalf of the host committee, we'd really like to commend our wonderful partners at Dance USA who've been behind everything and supported us in many ways. Amy Fitterer, as well as the entire staff of Dance USA, and in particular, Sydney Liggett and Adriana Ray, for their tremendous help and support. Please give them all a hand.
Hi, I'm Jane D'Angelo with Ohio Dance, and I want to let you know that we are really happy to highlight Northeast Ohio Dance throughout the conference. There will be pop-up performances throughout, some starting this evening. And we also, tomorrow evening, you all have tickets to see the dance showcase, which will be at Playhouse Square at 7 p.m. So that will highlight 9 dance companies. And Friday evening, there are Dance Around Town performances that will happen, and one of those is Dancing Wheels Company at the Allen Theater. So please enjoy, and thank you for being here.
Good evening. I'm Pam Young, Executive Director of Dance Cleveland. I'm the closer, so, you know, yes. So you've heard about the incredible, beautiful crown jewels of buildings that we have, and you've heard about the wonderful experiences that we've outlined for you and how hard we've worked, and what a great joy and privilege to work with all these people and all of the Cleveland dance community, and to go to meetings and say, we're thinking of doing this, and people say, yes, how can we help? And we're like, wow, this is incredible. In addition to experiences, I hope you get to know the people of Cleveland. They are just amazing. Last night I had a chance to share, we're called Midwest Nice. We actually won't run over you in a crosswalk. You know, you're good with us. And so when you get ready to go, I mean, here we are. We are the dance ecosystem across the country and beyond our own borders. We're here to learn and to listen and to share and to experience. So when you leave here, I hope you will take a new love of Cleveland with you, the people of Cleveland, and continue to do the wonderful, great, good work that you do. And with that, we welcome you.
Thank you. If we could please have one more round of applause for this. And I would also like to take a moment and acknowledge the larger host committee. They were referenced, but I would like, if you're in the room, if you're able to stand or wave as comfortable, please show us visibly who you are, because it was a very large host committee that was working on this conference. Come on. Thank you, thank you. So I'm going to begin my remarks tonight by focusing in on a land acknowledgement. Now, land acknowledgements are much more common in Canada and Australia and New Zealand, but you see them happening more and more in the United States. A land acknowledgement is really but a small gesture to acknowledge the land of our predecessors and the people who inhabited this land before us. But it is action that demonstrates a commitment to being inclusive of the indigenous communities. So we were in communication with the Lake Erie Native American Council, and with permission, I'm going to be reading to you a land acknowledgement. In recognizing the land upon which we reside, we express our gratitude and appreciation to those who lived and worked here before us, those whose stewardship and resilient spirit makes our residence possible on this traditional homeland of the Lenape, Delaware, Shawnee, Wyandotte, Miami, Ottawa, Potawatomi, and the other Great Lake tribes, which include the Chippewa, Kickapoo, Weah, Pinakasha, and Kaskaskia. We also acknowledge the thousands of Native Americans who now call Northeast Ohio home. Case Western Reserve University and the greater Cleveland area occupies land officially ceded by 1,100 chiefs and warriors signing the Treaty of Greenville in 1795. Thank you. So, as you'll hear me tonight and tomorrow and throughout the conference, my job is to express tremendous gratitude to the many sponsors and corporations and funders and people that make our gatherings possible. So tonight I will begin by acknowledging DeWitt Stern and all of the local sponsors here that you can see behind me. If you could please have a round of applause for all of our local funders. And now we will honor DeWitt Stern, the honor celebration sponsor. And Freed of London, which is in particular the exclusive sponsor of the Honors Award. In addition, the food, the beverage, the chairs, the music, many of you put on events, so you know that it takes a lot of vendors to help pull off this gathering. So thank you so much to all of tonight's vendors and partners. So the honors celebration is something that is very meaningful to me and to many of those in the room. And actually, it's interesting because we started talking today about when is it time to expand and grow our honor celebration. So that may be happening at some point. But what makes it so special to me right now is that it is peers nominating peers and peers voting and selecting industry leaders to say, we recognize your value, we recognize what you have brought to our industry and to our art form, and we want to raise you up and celebrate you. So the process for the honor celebration is that we do accept nominations from all over the country beyond our membership, and those nominations come in together by the awards committee on our board. The awards committee reviews the nominations and comes up with 3 nominees for each category and brings those to the full board, and the full board votes during our November board meeting. The Dance USA board is made up of about 40 trustees, many of you work in the field, so it is peers nominating and peers selecting peers. So the Honors Award in particular, if I could begin here, thank you. So the Champion Award is one in particular that goes and focuses on the local community. This is something that is nominated by the local host committee and is to raise up often an individual, an organization, foundation that has greatly contributed to the visibility and longevity of that art form. So that is what we will be celebrating tonight with the Adelmans. The next award, the Ernie Award, also has a very special tie to Cleveland. Ernie Horvath was on the Dance USA board many years ago. He was a dancer, an AIDS activist, a choreographer, and he was actually the founder of Cleveland Ballet. So Ernie Horvath, regrettably, did pass away too young, and the Dance USA board named this award in his honor. And it is for the unsung hero, often an administrator who works behind the scenes to make sure that dance thrives and is given the support it needs. Our final award tonight is the Honor Award, and this is truly given to someone with artistic vision. This is the Dance USA Artistic Excellence Award, if we were to have one. And so tonight's powerful award will be going to Diane Mcentire. So I've been doing this for the past several years, and I do hope that you'll join me in a moment of silence and remembrance. We are never able to honor all those who have been with us and made a huge impact on our field. And in particular, we often have people pass away that we regret we haven't yet honored and celebrated. So I would like for a moment of silence so that you can remember those that have passed in the past year in our field. If you're inspired, you can say their names out loud or say them to yourself, and we'll just take a moment to remember them. Thank you. Thank you. And now we will go on with the official presentation of the awards.
Please welcome Art Falco, CEO of Playhouse Square.
Good evening, and welcome to Cleveland also. Playhouse Square is really proud to be the host venue for the Dance USA Conference. So let me tell you about Terry and Sheldon Adelman. Sheldon, we call him Shelly, but they are longtime supporters of Playhouse Square and of dance in Cleveland. Through their generosity and unending energy, they have demonstrated their commitment to Playhouse Square and to the Cleveland dance community. Terry's been a trustee of Playhouse Square for 30 years. She also serves on the board of our newest resident company, the new Cleveland Ballet. They are also presenting sponsors of Playhouse Square's annual dance showcase for a number of years, of which you'll see tomorrow night. It is a highly anticipated event that showcases a wide range of dance styles performed by Northeast Ohio's finest dancers. The Adelman's generous support of the event makes it possible to present it free to the public every year. Very important to them because they want to bring the beauty of dance to those who have not yet had the chance to experience it. That means that there have been over 200,000 people that have experienced the diversity and quality of dance. I think that we should have a little round of applause for that. So I can think of no one in Cleveland more deserving of the Dance USA Champion Award than Terry and Shelly Adelman. Please, Shelly and Terry, please come up for the presentation.
All right, you hold.
I'll hold.
Okay. Wow. Very exciting. Goodness. Shelley and I would like to thank Dance USA for recognizing us with this Champion Award. And we want to acknowledge and congratulate the other honorees with us this evening, Diane Mcintyre and Glenn McCoy. We are thrilled to welcome those of you from out of town to Cleveland and are honored to be among this wonderful group of people who appreciate the art of dance. I am here this evening representing two organizations very dear to my heart, Playhouse Square and my wonderful Cleveland Ballet. We are so grateful to have two cultural organizations in our community that make life more joyful, beautiful, through high-quality dance and performing arts. Dance, music, and theater provide powerful avenues for communication while bringing peace and beauty and love to the world. And Shelley and I are thankful to be in a position to support organizations that allow us to share our passion for dance and culture with the greater community. In Cleveland, perhaps no other dance program reaches so deeply into our city as Playhouse Square's annual dance showcase, which we are so excited to present tomorrow evening in the beautiful Key Bank State Theater. Above and beyond showcasing a highly diverse program of dance forms, including ballet, modern, hip-hop, and ethnic dance, Dance Showcase taps into the diversity of our community because it is free to the public and offers something for everyone to enjoy. When we see families and individuals, young, old, of all backgrounds and all means, filling the theater to capacity and leaving smiling and happy, it's what makes us feel very, very good. And Shelley and I are so gratified to be able to sponsor this magical event. We look forward to all of you to share the experience and hope you will attend. I thank you all so much and the committee. We're so deeply honored. Thank you.
Beautiful. Very good.
Glenn is an inspirational leader, a mentor, a friend. Glenn and I first started working together actually at San Francisco Opera over 30 years ago. And then to have the pleasure of working together all these years has been a real joy.
Glenn has grown and flourished throughout the organization.
Glenn has fostered some very good relationships with the board members, his staff, his dancers, and the patrons. And I'm extremely pleased for all his support for my artistic vision through the years.
Along with Helgi together, I see the company grow into amazing, world-renowned international ballet company.
Glenn is like a citizen leader, a civic leader. He's someone who looks at the whole system and really wants to contribute to arts and culture in San Francisco. I want to talk about Proposition E, and I want to talk about his leadership at the level of citywide policy. Glenn McCoy has left San Francisco with better arts policy than we had before he started.
Glenn has really been a constant for me in this work to create diversity in ballet. His openness, his willingness, his desire to listen and to learn and share, coupled with his humility, it's the epitome of allyship.
Glenn, thank you very much for everything that you've done for the ballet.
Glenn, thank you for everything you've done over the last 3 decades. It's been a pleasure working with you.
And I want to thank you for all the things you have done for the company.
Glenn, I'm honored to have shared even a part of your journey.
Glenn, from all of us here at San Francisco Ballet,
thank you!
Please welcome Cece Connor, Managing Director Emeritus of Houston Ballet.
Good evening. Glenn McCoy, he was a North Carolina boy, grew up on the coast and went to the mountains for college. And the minute he got his degree, he was off to the Big Apple, to the Metropolitan Opera House. Unfortunately, as fate would have it, there was a strike that year, and the season didn't really start. As Glenn said, he was the last one hired and the first one laid off. So guess what he did? His first real job was with the American Tree and Wreath Company, installing Christmas trees in department stores. Talk about a great on-the-job training for a future arts manager. Well, he did spend 6 years at the Met. It got back to work, and one of the things that he did as he rose to the rank of advertising manager was manage some of the seasons of dance that happened at the Met. 6 years later, in 1986, San Francisco Opera stole him away, and then a year later, he went across the street to the Ballet. And of course, his career there is history. He started as company manager, became general manager, and then executive director. He had a lot of challenges. I think about 1996, just to tell you of one. The San Francisco Opera House was being refitted because of earthquake security things that were being put in place. So for 2 whole seasons, Glenn had to organize a tour of the San Francisco Bay Area for the San Francisco Ballet. Talk about a bus and truck tour that was probably a great challenge. However, in 2004, San Francisco Ballet did a new production of Nutcracker. His early training came in handy. I bet the production department asked him how to install Helgi's new Christmas tree. Back at work in 2008, San Francisco Ballet was finishing their second capital campaign. And at that point, Glenn led that campaign to get San Francisco to the place that only that company in New York and its school have more money in their endowment than San Francisco does. It's number 2 in the country. But, you know, as you've heard from the video, everybody loves Glenn. He has been such a colleague to so many of us. Right down here is a group of people I'll call the seniors table. I can say it, I'm the oldest of them. Many of these people have worked with Glenn since the beginning of his career in dance and are held in high esteem. And some of them came to this conference specifically to honor Glenn. He also has been a very important leader in the dance field. He served as a council chair for Dance USA. He's been on the board of Dance USA. He was an original founder of the NLCD and still is in that group today. He has been such an amazing leader and colleague, and I've heard from lots of you who are not the seniors but the freshmen and the juniors and whatever, of how giving of his time, his expertise, and his advice has been over the years. So Glenn, on behalf of all of us here, it gives me such pleasure to give you the 2019 Ernie Award. Please come and join me.
Thank you, and thank you, Cece. special thanks to the Dance USA Board of Trustees for this honor. I am deeply touched. I never planned for a career in dance. As Cece said, I grew up in a tiny farming town in North Carolina, 500 people, and I was related to all of them. I didn't see a professional dance performance until my 20s, but I fell in love with dance, and I fell hard. And although I didn't have a gift for it myself, I loved dancers, and just watching them made me feel more alive. So to be here now, alongside a pioneering talent like Diane Mcintyre, and angels like the Adelmans who give their financial resources and their passion to support the work that we all do, is very humbling for me. Even before we all used the term community so much, I knew that it was important to me. And in dance, I found community, and especially in Dance USA for 30 years, I have been able to have the opportunity to learn and appreciate the diversity of dance beyond the classical ballet genre I happened into. It's helped me master my business skills, and it's helped me build a network that allows for continuous learning and encouragement, something that I have valued for more than 3 decades. It also helped me find my voice to advocate for dance and all the arts in public policy. I have learned so much from so many of you in this room, and many who have come before us. It is my hope that all of you continue to work together to create space where all dance artists and administrators and supporters are enthusiastic and passionate about their participation in the work we do. It is my hope that you continue to identify and train and nurture the next generation of dance managers. And it is my hope that in a troubled world, you continue to create work that lifts and heals the human spirit, and that we all continue to try to find a place to remember to love each other and to embrace each other. My time in dance has been the highlight of my life, and my time at Dance USA has really been the thing that's held it together for me at many times. So I thank all of you for being the community that I've been looking for, and I will always miss you, but you won't be far from my heart. Thank you.
My name is Diane Mcintyre, and my passion is dance. It has a way of connecting with people in a way that actual word or lecture could not. I started my own dance company in the heart of Harlem in 1972, and I called it Sounds in Motion. We performed Deep South Suite, and we did another work called Life's Force, which is all the music and the dance have both the structure and also the improvisation. The piece, it was a big hit, and I wanted the company to keep developing in a certain style, so we were all moving in the same style. So I taught classes. So besides having the company, we also developed a school. Everybody was coming for classes there. The whole studio was filled. It was a very special time. The signature to my style could be said to be spontaneity. I will take that improvisational element and put it on the stage. For dance, you have to be saying something from your heart. That's why you connect with the audience. So even if I have work that is completely set, I still like it to have the experience of spontaneity. One thing that is different about some of my choreography is that my style often rises up out of what musician collaborator I may be working with. I feel that dance and music feed each other and enhance each other. And that's why in my particular work, as often as possible, I work with live music. I couldn't imagine that there would be a time I'd say, oh, I did enough dance. Now I'll be a dance fan. I have been so blessed to be able to work in this field for over 4 decades, and there's more to come.
Please welcome Donna McIntyre White, sister of Diane Mcentire.
Good evening, everyone. I've witnessed many introductions of Diane over the years, but this is the first time I've had the opportunity and pleasure of doing the honors. Thank you to Dance USA for inviting me to present this prestigious Dance USA Honor Award to my sister. Diane's my big sister, my only sister. I've never known life without her. God blessed me with Diane. And of course, I am eternally grateful to our parents, Dorothy and Benny McCoy, for giving Diane a little sister. But what I got was more than just a sister. Being Diane's sister also meant I've seen the world through her passion and life of dance. Diane began at the age of 3 with Elaine Gibbs dancing ballet. And I learned how dance could tell a story through the grace and poise of movement. Ever since then, to see Diane dance has been a joy. When we were young, I knew Diane had choices in the arts world. She could sing, she could play the piano like crazy, she could draw, but Diane chose dance, and dance chose Diane. From ballet to the modern dance world as a teenager and in college at Ohio State University and throughout her professional life, I've witnessed how my sister's passion for dance has been her life. I've seen virtually all Diane's performances and choreographic works. I've seen all that you just saw on the video. Just to name a very few, I can close my eyes and still see performances by Diane's Harlem Dance Company, Sounds in Motion, and Diane's choreography and improvisation with live jazz musicians. I can remember watching Diane's performances in Deep South Suite, Love Poems to God, her dance creation of Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God, the depth and transcendence in her performance of the Negro spirituals. Her choreography of Ntozake Shange's Spell No. 7, the television production of For Colored Girls, and Why I Had to Dance, and the Negro ensembles The Great McDaddy. And of course, Diane's tributes to our mother in Take Off from a Forced Landing, and to our father, and I Could Stop on a Dime and Get 10 cents change. And more recently, I've witnessed the beauty of change, performed by Dance Theater of Harlem and The Witness by David Chima Takahara's Groundworks Dance Theater. I also remember the beauty and perfection of Diane's performance of Swan Lake when I was a child. To me, no one in the world could dance like my sister. Diane's gifts go beyond dance. She's a master teacher, mentor, collaborator, supporter, visionary, trailblazer, and aunt. I must say that Diane's influence has affirmed to our family, especially my daughters, Miata and Mariama, and my grandchildren, that art is life. This Dance USA Honor Award affirms the contributions Diane has presented to the world of dance. I can promise you that we will continue to witness and learn from my sister Diane, because there is always the next dance and choreography around the corner. And as ever, I will be right there in the audience, taking every movement, applauding, probably crying, then waiting for my hug and being the proud sister. I am privileged and honored, Diane, to present you with Dance USA's 2019 Honor Award. I love you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Donna. Wow. That was a beautiful speech. Oh, my sister is a great teacher. She teaches at Cleveland State University. She's in the history department and in urban affairs, a great professor. So I want to give a huge thank you to Dance USA for this illustrious honor. I am in the company of those who have broken barriers in dance. Oh, wow. That is so beautiful. I want to give a special thanks to Denise Saunders Thompson, who's on the committee, I understand, for the awards. And I think she was instrumental in my nomination. Thank you, Denise, wherever you are. I can't, these glasses I can read with, but I have to see you all too. So I would like to also say that I give a thank you to the people who are my guests at my table. I have a number of wonderful guests. My niece, my cousin who came here all the way from Las Vegas. And one person I really want to acknowledge, oh, my cousin is Rita McCentire, Dr. Rita McCentire. I really would like to acknowledge Elaine Gibbs Redmond, who is at my table. She was my very first dance teacher. You can find her after the ceremony. So in the film that you saw, I'm very happy about that film, and it was made possible by the Doris Duke Artist Award, of which has opened many doors for me. It's really a privilege. And also I want to thank Cleveland State University, who gave me space to make that, and also Carousel Theater for being able to go there to make that. So, as Donna mentioned already, I work not just in the dance field, but I also work in theater. I not only choreograph for theater, but I also create my own theater pieces too. And sometimes in the dance world, you haven't seen those because they're in the theater setting. And I also work a lot with the music world. So I'm known in dance, theater, music, and recently in opera too. That's a lot of fun. So I would like to also say a thank you to those institutions who have really helped continue my exposure to the world in the last few years. I have to say a thank you to them. If we did the thank yous to those back from 1972, we'd be here all night. Okay, so these are those from the last few years. I'd like to thank, of course, the Doris Duke Charitable Foundation, Dance Theater of Harlem, and Virginia's here, Virginia Johnson, the director. Cleveland State University, Lynn, where are you, Lynn? Lynn Deering. Dallas Black Dance Theater, Dayton Contemporary Dance Company, Debbie is here. Debbie Blunden Diggs. Cleo Parker Robinson Dance, Cleo! Philadelphia, Joan Myers Brown. Oh my goodness, I love all these people. In Cleveland, Groundworks Dance Theater, David Chima. Dancing Wheels, Mary Verdi Fletcher. Verb Ballets, where are you, Maggie? Margaret Carlson. The Cleveland Foundation, yay, Cleveland. Yes, yes. Did I miss any other company in Cleveland? But Inlet, I love you. I haven't worked with you, but I love you too. Yes, there's Bill Wade. Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. University of Minnesota, Ananya. Where is she? Ananya Chatterjee. And Playhouse Square, Oberlin College, Ohio State University, Ohio Dance, Caramel House, Baryshnikov Art Center, Dance Place in New York, Dance Place in DC, Clark Center, Jacob's Pillow, New York Live Arts. And so many people have been champions of my work, and I'm just gonna name just 3 of those people. And all these people I just named, and then there's many, 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 many more. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And one woman, Sally Ann Kriegsman, who is the head of dance at the New York State Council on the Arts, a big champion of my work for many years. Jennifer Dunning, wonderful writer. We need to get some more writers like that. Okay, we need to get some dance writers who get inside the dance and speak the poetry that's in the dance. Okay, so what can we do about that? I don't know. We need to figure that out. We do. So, and also right here in Cleveland, Ms. Catherine Karapides is a big champion of dance in my work. Then all the dancers, the designers, all the people I've worked with, the musicians and everybody. So one thing I would like to see happening in the future, Dance USA has had a great push in terms of diversity. It has a big shift from when it started. And I give a big thank you to Amy and the board for that. It's really wonderful. Yes. So there's one area which I would call, we could remember treasures of wisdom. These are our individuals who, in some circles, are called elders. in the dance world or in other worlds. These are people who have treasures to offer to us. So they're in our communities, they might be far away, and we honor them. And we say, oh, we honor you. You are so wonderful. However, what else do they want? What else can we do for them? Can we invite them to every performance we do? Can we ask if they can come and speak to our students? Can we ask them if they want to choreograph something new? Or if they're dance administrators in the past, can they be a consultant to our dance administrator? They're sitting at home maybe. They may have heard about your performance and they missed it. And what can we do? I'm telling you this because they might want to give you feedback on your choreography. Years ago, oh, I know I'm over time, but we don't have an orchestra like at the Tony Awards. But years ago, when I had my dance company, I had the privilege of knowing Tally Beatty. Are there any people who have not seen? It's kind of rare now. I won't make you raise your hands, but some of you may not have seen the work of the illustrious Tally Beatty. You did, you didn't. You did. Yes, one of my favorite choreographers. Let me tell you one thing. One time I saw a review of the Ailey Company. They did a piece of Tally, and in the review, it said, oh, wonderful choreography, but it reminded me, the writer said, it was derivative and reminded me of West Side Story. Now, why is that weird? Who knows that? Cleo, tell them why. Because Tally came first. Let's see who was influenced by whom. They were right together. And you have to read up. You won't find that in a book, but it's the truth, okay? So we have to know our history. But Tally Beatty used to want, I said, oh, Tally, we have a studio. He used to come and rehearse in my studio. I told the people in the office, don't ever charge him any money. He's one of our great people. And I was so honored, like, oh, Tally Beatty is in my studio rehearsing. But years later, when I got to be about his age, maybe a couple of years ago, I said, what else did Tally need? I didn't know how he lived. I didn't know if he had income. I don't know if he wanted to do new dances, if he wanted to do things on Broadway, if he wanted to come and tell stories, if he wanted to give feedback for people. That's all I'm saying. It's called a new initiative for the treasures of wisdom. So we just know we know our history. So I'm history and current. I'm both. So yeah, sometimes we just keep on keeping on. We just keep on keeping on. So I'd like to thank you all so much for this honor, and it's just propelling me on to do my new things, new dances, new things in museums and touring and all like that. So look for it, okay? Thank you.
Well, can we please have one more round of applause for all of tonight's honorees? And now we get to party. So, so what happens is there is going to actually be 3 dance performances down beneath us. There's actually a whole basement full of really awesome antique cars. So there are going to be 3 different dance performances, so you can go down there. And then there's going to be a dance party up here with a DJ. And the carousel is going to open, so you can have sweets and popcorn and ride the carousel and drink and catch up with everybody. So have a great night.